Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Chad. Today's video is not about plants, if you can believe that. Yeah. If you're new to my channel and you haven't checked out any of my other videos about how to bring phytochemical goodness into your life, definitely check those videos out. But today, I'm just going to be short and sweet on this, no technical geeky things, but I'm going to talk about how artificial light and to some degree EMF, maybe I'll get into that, but just mostly focusing on artificial light and how that affects our sleep cycles. Now, with evolution, as everybody can agree for the most part, we've been, evolving, and our bodies have been adapting to things over time, over millions of years, or in, the case of epigenetics, as we're finding now, even you go back just a few generations, you can see how that affected us. But one thing that is very, very new to human evolution, technically speaking, is that of artificial light. The world has only been electrified for, I believe at this point, 114 years. So being able to see certain spectrums of light after the sun goes down is very, very strange to our internal workings. Now, see, as a simple rundown, basically, if we were to go back to the picturesque, hunter-gatherer situation where you get up when the sun goes up and you go down, you go to sleep or you start to chill out when the sun goes down, and there was nothing outside of fire, lamplight, candles, depending upon what era we're talking about here, and that was the only things that you were exposed to. Nowadays, with electrical light, especially the white light bulbs, what you have is the spectrum of blue in there. Now, blue light is something that we do see from the sun. However, it's in smaller quantities and for shorter periods of our day-to-day. Now, with as the sun goes down, a lot of times you'll see on the horizon it becomes red and then it becomes dark. Now, our brains, more or less, that triggers a bunch of hormonal cascades to basically tell our brain that it's time to go to sleep, and from there we get into more of a repair, and then that turns into hormones that help you with satiation when you do wake up, and then that eventually gives way to one that most people are familiar with, and that's cortisol, which should start to rise when you rise, because that's sort of the purpose of that mechanism. Now, when you're exposed to artificial light, your cell phone, your tablet, your computer, your TV, more or less what you're doing is you're telling your brain that it's the middle of the day. So if you're looking at your phone right before you go to sleep, right before you're hitting the hay, you're telling your brain that it's middle of the day, it's time to be awake. Now, a way to mitigate that is with these goofy things. I love them. I've been using them for about 2 years. They're just orange tinted glasses. Now, what this orange tint does is it blocks out the blue spectrum of light, and that enables your brain to start to chill out as the sun goes down, and it mitigates most of what artificial light will do to you. So as far as your hormonal cascades at night will become more regular. There's a whole bunch of other factors, but simplicity on this video. It will help you to sleep better. I definitely, when I first, I was sick about 1.5 years ago, and it was some pretty rough shit at times, and these were one of the things that I incorporated into every night. I wore these in public. I did not care. It's just, I was at that point. So I would put these on right when the sun went down, and I would not take them off until the sun came back up. And I noticed that I was able to sleep deeper, and I also noticed that as time went on, I was able to remember my dreams a lot better. Now see, that's not only showing that I'm able to get into a deeper state of sleep, but a lot of people who study mitochondria and the redox potential and all that will say that generally if people can remember their dreams, or if you're coming into a state where you can start to remember them, that your redox potential, which is just your body's ability to repair itself, is upregulating, and that's a good thing. So I've carried on with the practice even though I'm well now, and even my wife follows it too. So, you know, if you do have to use a computer, because that's just part of modern life now, we have a lot of expectations on us, so get a pair of these and just put them on. Now with these, I'll plug these because they're not actually really sold as blue blockers, but these are just made by Uvex, and the reason that I like these things is for many, many reasons. A, they're durable as hell, because all they are really is just safety glasses. So you can get them on Amazon for $8 or $9. I mean, hell, when I bought these and I tried it on, I liked them, and I just immediately ordered another 2 pair just so I had them. Now, one of the things regardless of what type of glasses you're going for, you want to make sure that it wraps around. So see, if I plop those things on there, you can kind of see it doesn't allow any light in, because see, there are certain models that, yeah, they look all good and fashionable, but if light comes up under there, you're completely negating the purpose, because every time that you look down and your eyes are exposed to that blue light, you're pushing your melatonin cycle away further and further, and depending upon who you talk to, what you read, generally your brain needs about 4 hours of darkness in order to start that melatonin cascade. And on that note, when it comes to melatonin supplementation, I would not do it unless you are actually unless you're being guided by somebody who really knows what they're talking about, because melatonin, from most of the things that I've seen, if you're taking it in supplemental form just to help you sleep, and you are not trying to correct something, but you're just basically bandaging a problem of what your sleep cycles are looking like, your body can become dependent upon that, or at the very least it can screw things up. The less that you can put artificial hormones into your system, the better. And if you're going to do so under the guidance of somebody who knows what they're talking about. So with these things, as I said, I wore them in public. I don't advise that you drive around with them, but I mean, I did because I was desperate. But for those of you, I'll show you my wife's pair. This is because she's got the more stylish kind, you know, so, and they even got the there you go, you better see it there. They even got the thing on the side, so regardless of the style, the brand, whatever, you want to make sure that it completely wraps around. And now with this also, I would like to say that when you're wearing them, wear them until you go to sleep and the lights are off, and when you take them off, keep your eyes closed, and if you get up in the middle of the night, plop them back on. That's what I do. I mean, for the most part, I've created a situation in my apartment where it is pitch black. I mean, I use blackout curtains, and I have manipulated the quantity of food I eat and the water I intake later in the day, so that most of the time I sleep through the evening and I don't have to get up, because that was always an issue for me ever since I was a little kid, was I always got up in the middle of the night. So you want to avoid that blue light as much as possible. And so with that, yeah, it pretty much covers it all, because I don't want to get overly technical in this video. But if you do have any questions, comments, post them below, and like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, I'll talk to you later. Get a good night's sleep.